Jeg bliver ved med at støde min mikrofon fra og tilbage. Det er min nye YouTube-kanal, ShadowX. Ja, jeg skal bare lige finde mit script. Så går jeg herhen. Nej, der. Der. Og så kigger jeg lige der. Script. Der. Holder vi lige vent. Og så trykker vi her. Nu ruller vi lige ned her. Så jeg trykker her. Bum. Skal lige være sikker på her.
In today's video, I'll show you LSPDFR owns a managed WinRAR and cut the Rage Native and the plugin. After extracting it, open the folder and cut the Rage Native and the plugins folder.
Rage Native and the plugins folder. Plugins and Rage Native. And then
Now go to your GTA 5 Legacy main directory. If you don't know where your GTA 5 directory is located, open Steam and click. Not if it asks you to replace any files, click paste the files here. Not if it asks.
just paste the files. Okay, sådan her. Så trykker vi ind her.
You to replace any files, click replace. That's it. The compilate mod has now been installed and open the compilate ini file. Next, open the plugins folder, then LSPDFR, and open the compilate ini file. Here you'll find all of the keybinds. You can change them if you want, but I highly recommend keeping the default controls since they're already well configured. Once you're done, simply close the file. Now go back to your GTA 5 folder and launch the game using Rage plugin hook. As soon as you see the Rage plugin.
Okay, jeg skal finde en ikone, jeg skulle skrive der. Ja, jeg kan kun. Så. This one nu. Pissed off. Lidt, jeg skal derhen. Der. Så skal jeg lige hurtigt gå tilbage til YouTube, og så lige.
Let me go ahead and just get a patch. Another LSPDFR ultimate question aim to every findable without it should install which there we go. I'm on 0.0.1. Download that, leave that because this is def file. Let's do the top one. Again, it'll take 5 seconds. So reborn everyone battery. So I have mine. Go ahead and X out of that. Also go ahead at ultimate have search items reborn by Officer 34. Go.
Search item reborn. Give me the link to search item reborn.
Lad mig lige tjekke det. Godt. Så hvis du mener Attack on Titan Reborn på Roblox, så er det her
Oh, you
det officielle spil.
fuck you, ass!
www.
You dumbass! Fuck you! Jeg hader I. What did you say was
So we have, I'm going to go ahead and open that up also. And I'm going to try and go through that and download this file. Let's do the top one. You're searching of peds and vehicles. For coming up with this, that there. Moving on, search. There we go. I'm on 0.0.1. To install ultimate questions.
Give me the link to ultimate questions. 2 LSPDFR.
I'm not sure which ultimate questions you mean. Could you tell me what it is? For example,
Search items. Ultimate questions.
I'm not sure what you mean by ultimate questions. Could you mean Ultimate Questions by John Blanchard, the booklet? If so, here's the official PDF, Ultimate Questions.
I'm gonna kill that AI. Jeg kill all AI. Jeg mener, jeg hader AI så meget. Ultimate questions. Der. Så siger du, hvad sker der? Hvad siger du så?
Arrow, and it should install right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and open that up and make sure you have WinRAR installed. I'm going to leave that right there, and I'm also going to install Ultimate Questions, which I thought I did, but I'm just going to do it again. It'll look like this. Download this file. We're going to do the top one, which is 2.0.1. Download that, which I thought I'm going to leave that right there, and it'll look like this. Download this file. We're going to do the top one.
Top one. Okay, that one. The new one.
One, which is 2.0.1. Download that. It'll take 5 seconds. There we go. I'm also going to open that up. X out of that. Leave that there. Moving on. Search Items Reborn. Shout out to Officer 34 for coming up with this, because this is definitely enhances your searching of peds and vehicles. So we're going to go ahead. This is moving up. Second top one, which is 2. Also going to open that up. X out of that. Leave that, because this is definitely enhances.
Oh man. Give me the links to search items.
Search Items Reborn.
Oh my god. Reborn.
Shout out to Officer 34 for coming up with this, because this is definitely enhances your again, it'll take feds and vehicles. And I'm going to try and go through this as fast as I can, guys. So bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and open that up also. And now we are good to go. So we have Search items, Reborn by Officer 34. We got Ultimate Questions by Sirius 313 and Echo Wolf. Go ahead and X out of that. And then we got Stop the Ped by Bajojo. So we can go ahead and X out of that also. Now, what we got to do is open up our GTA 5 directory. So I have mine shortcutted on the desktop. If you guys don't know how to find it, you are way too far ahead for installations. You should know this by now. So I already have Stop the Ped installed, but I'm just going to do it again. So you're going to find the Stop the Ped download, which we have right here. So just make sure you have enough room for both files. So what we're going to do is go to Stop the Ped in the download, double click it. And then you have these three right here. So what you're going to do is just click on both of those. You're going to hold the left control key, hover over both, and just click them. So they're both highlighted. And you're just going to drag and drop. And I'm going to replace because I already have them. So you can actually X out of Stop the Ped. And we're going to make a few adjustments real quick before we install the others. So we're going to go to LSPDFR first. We're going to go to LSPDFR first. Double click that. You're going to go to keys, and you're going to make sure you have Stop Ped's key right here set to none. And you're going to make
Stop it.
make sure you have Stop Ped's key right here.
Do I need this one too? Or not?
Stop the Ped. And we're going to make a few adjustments real quick before we install the others. So we're going to go to LSPDFR first. We're going to go to LSPDFR first. Double click that. You're going to go to keys, and you're going to make sure you have Stop Ped's key right here set to none.
Okay, LSPDFR. Yeah. Done. Done. I don't need that. Just out. Just going to this one, and then keys. Keys.
PDFR first. We're going to go to LSPDFR first. Double click that. You're going to go to keys, and you're going to make sure you have Stop Ped's key.
Yeah. This is Stop it. this one to, ja, det er den her også, to none.
Right here, set to none, just like that. All right, moving on down, you're gonna want to make sure you have traffic stop interact also.
Traffic stops. To none. Så, det er den her. Done.
Set to none, because these are LSPDFR base games menus that are like Stop the Ped, but we don't want those anymore. Those will just overlay if we don't clear them. So make sure you set both of those to none. After you do that, just hit File, Save, and just X out of it. Moving on down, you're going to go to the LSPDFR INI. Just double click that.
Okay, okay, LSPDFR INI. Yeah, LSPDFR INI.
And from here, you're going to change ambient disable
Okay.
player flashlight override.
Den her. To false. Step for true. Den her. To true. Yeah, to false. T.
To true, just like that. All right, so just change it to true, all lowercase. After you've done that, make sure you go down to this setting right here. This is optional. I did it.
Okay. Det er den her, så den der her. Den her to. True to false. This is for true to false. This.
I saw it and I just wanted to make sure I disabled it. So it's disable camera focus. I'm going to set that to true. So this is when you get into a pursuit and your camera will focus. I kind of find that annoying, so I just set that to true. And if you like that camera focus, just leave it at false. But I set it to true. Now working from here, we're just going to go ahead and hit File, Save, and X out of it. Now we're good to go from there. So we're just going to go back to our directory main page. We're going to go to plugins, LSPDFR. And then in here, what you're going to do is delete vocal dispatch.
Okay. Det kan jeg godt huske. Her, altså.
And police smart.
Det er vocal dispatch and police ting. Den her, og så police dispatch. Den her. De her to her. Done.
Radio. You do not need those. Those are old. So you're just going to highlight both by holding left control and clicking on each one. So we're going to go into the Stop the Ped INI to go through some of the settings. I'm not going to change too much. It's really not needed. I stick with the basics. I do that on my actual build, and it's just good to get a feel of the game. You can change it as you go. It's really based on preference. So just double click on that. And in here is where you find all the keybinds for everything. So stopping the ped is E. Context menu is G, so that's if you're in your vehicle or next to your vehicle or even on foot. That's how you search a body, search a vehicle, and I believe requesting a tow truck also. That's what context menu does. And gunpoint pursuit, so if you're aiming at someone and you want them to turn into a pursuit, you could double tap. And On down, you have some shortcut a lot on my streams to make it more entertaining for my viewers. And moving on down, you have some shortcut keys to pat people down. Another keybind to grab someone without going through the menu is just left Control T. That'll actually give you a function to grab someone without going through the menu. You could touch up on all this info by just reading. This is really a lot of preference-based settings. So if you want the probability of resistance of a PED, you could turn this up. Again, just follow the diagram of what requirements are. So between 0 and 100. We have resistance probability at 3, so it's a very low chance. And if he does resist, so if you up to you is when you're sprinting, you can hit the enter key and you'll actually do a extra boost for 5. On down, you can see some more options, so I just leave taser, a space. Oh, somewhat down further, you'll see another cool vehicle, special car right here. Weapons are, I want this, and once in your vehicle, which is PED. We find that assault shotgun name under this website. So again, that's all preference. I just leave it as it is. Moving on down, just more extra stuff if you want to go in depth. I really have to go. We have to go for items, better items, and search items gives you a whole list of extra items, better items in vehicles and on pets, which is amazing, by the way. We're gonna do ultimate questions. So what we're gonna do here is make sure you have the ultimate questions up, double click on it, and then plugins. LSPDFR, snap the PED, and you have these two right here. We're gonna do that same thing. So from here, we're in our plugins folder. We're gonna go to stop the PED.
Down. Stop the PED.
PED, and you'll see that we have.
Yes, you need to replace it.
Custom questions and traffic stop questions. And we also have that same thing in here. We're just going to replace them. We're just going to take these two. It's already ultimate quite easy. Just a replace file. Very, very simple. Now the last one is search items reborn. We're going to
this one. Out. Search item reborn down.
We're going to go ahead and double click on that. We're going to double click on Grand Theft Auto. Again, read the README if you're very, very new. Okay. He says realistic. So we're going to go to Grand Theft Auto 5, plugins, LSPDFR, and you're going to follow the same pathways. All right. So back to it. Grand Theft Auto 5, plugins. We're going to go over here. Plugins, LSPDFR, stop the PED, stop the PED. Now, as you can see, we have pat-down items and vehicle items. We also have that same thing in here, vehicle items and pat down items. We're gonna take these two, drag and drop. We're gonna replace those two files. You guys did see back at that README, he put make sure, or he recommends to set these at this. And this is more realistic, by the way. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna go back a few pages. We're gonna go to the stop the PED.
Stop the PED.
INI. And you guys may have seen these settings. So we're going to double click back into this. We're going to scroll on down until we see searching settings, or the search settings. So I think we passed it right here. That was near the top. So from the top, if you scroll on down, It is right.
Too long. Ja.
Here. So red items, yellow items, and green items. So he said to set them to 5, 15,
5, 15, and 8. Five, 15, and 8. 5, 15, and 8. Done.
and 80. So we're going to do that same thing in here. We're going to do 5, 15, and 80. So this is more realistic. And he recommends it also. And I really do recommend taking his advice. We're going to go ahead and hit File and Save. And we are good to go. I'll just exit out of everything. There we go. Stop the pet.
Okay, så altså... kan det her. Out. Okay, så ruller vi ned. Sådan der. Ruller vi ned. Så hvis antænden kommer op, så vi her. Done. Yes. Okay, det er fint nok. Det virker. Jeg skal lige have mine ting frem, så jeg kan læse. Note scripts. Jeg skal lige skrive note scripts. Så der er nogle scripts. Jeg skriver load, og jeg skriver load. Så skal jeg bare skrive A. Load script. Så skal du bare røre noget lige nu. Fordi, ja. Wait, der. Tada! Der. Så det er lavet der.
In today's video, I'll show you how to install and use the Compulite computer system and access weekly. So, in the description here, use the ensure launch link in the up the pad to request the driver's documents. Hold the E key, and the Compulite tablet system will open. They appear. Quickly enter the vehicle records or in decide based on aptitude. The driver committed key input. Simply press left control.
Okay. Ja, fint.
Kiflum.
Hello.
Right.
Excuse
Thank
me.
you.
I saw you crawling down the fucking drain this morning. Oh my god, now what? Damn it. You must pay a lot of rent to that green planet you live in.
Units reporting a suspect resisting arrest on Del Perro Freeway. Shots fired. All units respond. Code 99 emergency.
Hold da. Nu prøver jeg bare lige. Hej billede. I have a question. Nej, det kan man snart. Jeg skal altid vente. Skal jeg vente nogle timer, du?
Officers report a possible 148 in, downtown. Attention all units, we have a robbery at Little RON station. Respond code 3. Officers report a suspect resisting arrest in, Rockford Hills.
Oops.
We've got an ambulance requested in, Rockford Hills. Units respond code 3.
Jeg ved det. Så nu går vi hen til YouTube. Med den her. Kommer ned til den her. Den her vil jeg tænke på at downloade lidt.
FR tutorial, and in today's video, I use it to it's a popular plugin to have in LSPDFR. This is a main one that I use in my build in all my videos, streams. You guys see it all the time. So we are installing it today. So let's just go ahead and jump into the installation. So right off the bat, we have the Prowler radar page up and going here. Link is in the description along with everything else you guys need. Now for those that are wondering, it does have a PDF. I'm gonna go ahead and click on to now. So the latest update or the main file, which is this top one. So we're gonna go ahead and do that.
Latest and newest. Den siger den her, men altså han siger, jeg skal downloade det her. The latest version, but the newest. Hvad er det? Den her, ja, okay. Ja, download den her.
That's gonna be finished. Oh, I was actually right here. We're gonna go into the Grand Theft Auto double check 5 PDF folder check. So this Rage Native UI, you don't just want to drag and drop right away. I always double check. But Rage Native UI.dll, look at the date right here. So
yeah, I will look at the date right now. 2025, 2025, 2025, 2023, 2025, 25. 25. Hvad er han? 25. Hvad vi gør bare sådan her?
This one is 12/19/2021. I'm going to go into my build, and this is for anyone that has installed any other plugins that may have had a Rage Native, because I always like to keep my Rage Native UI up to date. So I'm going to go ahead and look for that. I'm going to scroll on down. We're going to look for Rage Native UI.dll.
Okay, jeg skal tjekke på Rage Native UI på. That is new, ikke? Rage Native UI 2026.
So right here, we have one here. This one's 4/2/2024. This is a brand new Rage Native UI.
Og så den her. Let's need everyone. There's nothing here. Vi tager den der, fordi det jeg kan ikke, den siger jeg skal det der og sådan noget, den siger jeg skal et eller andet, som jeg ikke ved. Den siger jeg skal, det er den nyeste version. Så siden 25. Så 25, 25, 25, 25, 23. Så, ja, men ved hvad, jeg kan ikke gøre noget. Jeg har lige ved hvad. Don't think I ever reached native UI, but det var det lige meget, vi tager bare den her. Jeg har det. Så skal vi bare lige have den her tilbage der. Jamen, ja, sådan noget, jeg ved det ikke. Jeg skal finde der. Done. I. Så tager jeg bare den her, altså. Okay, there. Yeah.
So I am not going to drag this one in. This one's outdated. I'm not going to use it. This is how I've always done it. I've never had a problem with it. But I am not going to use this one. Now, if you don't have one in, now listen up. If you are new and you don't have a Rage Native UI, drag this one in. But if you have one in already that is newer, so look for that date, don't drag this one in. I'm not going to drag mine in because I have an updated UI. So I'm going to go ahead and look for this IPT common next. And that is right down yonder. Now you could drag and drop all these and it'll work just fine. But for me, that likes to keep my game up to date. This is how I do it. Where is it? Right there. Okay, so this one's 5/28/2023. So this is actually newer. So I'm not going to drag either of these in. Now, again, if you don't have an IPT or Rage Native UI, drag these in.
Jeg kan tjekke, om jeg har det. Så her, det er den første. Nu skal jeg rulle ned. Jeg vil gerne keep it up to date. Der her. Hvad er det? Nej. første. Yeah, I don't think I have one. These things with my shit. Nah, I don't think I have one. Ja, that is. Jeg tror, det er en updated version. Hvad ser det den her? Don't think I have one. I'm not drinking.
So I'm just going to go into plugins, LSPDFR, and I'm going to follow that same path in here. So we're going to go to plugins, LSPDFR. All right, so you literally just copy that same file path. Now that we're in here, I'm going to go ahead and just select all these, drag and drop. Now it's going to ask me to replace for if you're new, all these, drag and drop. Now it's going to ask me to replace for if you're new, it'll just drop right in, but I'm going to replace. So we have it installed. Now let's go ahead and hop into LSPDFR and I'll show you guys what this plugin's all about. Alrighty, we are inside of GTA 5 with LSPDFR fully loaded up. We are on duty also. So I just went up to Blank County. We got a cruiser and we just set up.
Så. Skal vi lige have der. Og den er ned til den her. Åbner den her. Der. Vent, jeg skal lige hurtigt. I don't fucking care. Der. Jeg gør på den tidspunkt. Der. Load all plugins. Yes. Bare for mig sikker, så skriver jeg den kode igen. Load plugins, skriver jeg igen. Nu er jeg på vej ind, så kan jeg lige så godt lige hurtigt.
Up for a little speed testing area. So we're just gonna go ahead and bring up the Prowler radar. Now the keybind to bring it up is the number 9 key on the numpad. Again, you need a numpad.
Yeah, you need a numpad. Why will you not use them? Why do you not have a numpad on your keyboard? That is dumb. Jeg skal jo bare lige reload plugins en gang til. Det gør jeg sikkert hver gang. Snart så vil jeg downloade noget, så jeg kan downloade nogle plugins igen. Det gør jeg ikke nu. Loading LSPDFR. Loading LSPDFR. Perfekt. Stop. Gør bare sådan her, bare hurtigt. Sådan her, der. Bare lige hurtigt. Ja, hold. Godt, gør vi lige sådan her, og så skriver vi lige reload. Reload plugins. Så rører vi ikke noget. Rører ikke noget. Godt, så skriver vi on DVD. Jeg rører ikke noget lige nu. Sådan der.
For this to work, I mean, you can re-keybind it in the INI and the Prowler settings in the files. If you go back to where we installed it, you'll see a configuration settings file. Now, this is for people that don't have a full keyboard, because when it comes to LSPDFR, you want a full keyboard. You should not be using a 70% or 60%, whatever you want to call it, keyboard. You need a full keyboard with a numpad. It's just the best way to go. So let's just go ahead and open this up. It's going to be the number 9 key, and as you can see, it comes up right there. It is massive, so we are going to adjust a couple things before we get started. Now, if you want it this big, you could definitely play with it having it right there and that large, but we are going to change this up a little bit. So that's how you bring it up. I'm actually going to bring up the settings. So if you hold down the number 9 key, you will see that the menu at the top left pops up. So you have controller, you have settings, and this is how you manually enable stuff on the Prowler instead of using it
Attention all units, we've got a
so what I mean by that is we can turn on
Strawberry.
auto lock through here. As you can see, auto turns on.
Yeah, see?
We could switch our antennas from front to rear. But you could do all this just through the numpads. You don't have to go into this every single time. Let's just go back. We're going to go to settings. This is where we want to be. We're going to go to display. And this is where you adjust the size and area of the Prowler radar. So you could do it through this. I'm going to adjust the scale. I'm going to make it like 60. 60 is a good one. And then we're going to go to edit mode. Now in edit mode, this is where you can drag the Prowler anywhere you want. If you want it here, I typically wouldn't put it here because of the callouts that pop up. Also here, I wouldn't, because if you do in the future install Simple HUD, that is where your directions are. Here, I wouldn't really do either if you have callout interface, unless you don't really use it, then put it here. Where I usually like it is directly at the top of the screen. I always try and center it with the logo of my monitor. Good enough. And then just right click, and I just busted my window. But as you can see, boom, it's right there at the top. You can clearly see it. Now, when you hit the 9 key, it'll go away. If you hit it again, it'll pop back up. Now, we're not done. We're going to hold down that 9 key again. Go back to settings, and you want to save. Be sure to save it. If you don't save it, it won't be there again when you reboot LSPDFR. So we have the display set up. Now, if you go to radar, this is where you get into the meat of the plugin. This is where you adjust the speed limit to where you want to lock people at if they are speeding. So it's default set at 75 miles per hour. You can change that. Typically, I have mine set to 77. Now, for those, there's probably a lot of you wondering, how do you know the speed limits of the roads without looking at the speed limit signs? Or, yeah, what should you set it to? That is all up to you. It is all role play, up to you, how you want to do it. How I do it is any of the freeways, major highways, freeways, is 60 miles per hour for me. That's how simple HUD had it. And any of the...
You know what? Jeg gør det sådan her. Den her. Give me the code to F9. Okay.
For the key F9 use, you can see the code in our conversation history. So replace, you can see the code in our conversation history.with, you can see the code in our conversation history. Then save the .ini file and restart GTA V LSPDFR.
Double click on that. The Grand Theft Auto. But raid for anyone that had and not go ahead with have it plug. Literally just I'll do LSPDFR and I'll show you DFR to replace. So I'm gonna get on if radar photos bring it right there for you. Now we're gonna go ahead I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the download since it just opened. Edit these drag and drop.
Okay, vent lidt. Vent lidt, det er nummer 9, kitty. Den der, vil ud af bilen i øvrigt. Series, type, reload. Reload plugins. Go on duty.
That's fucked up.
Ja. Skal bare lige...
Units reporting a suspect resisting arrest in Textile City.
Number 9 is stolen.
Drop right away. I always double check. But Rage Native UI.dll, I just want 3 here. So double check. So this Rage Native UI, you don't just want to drag and drop.
Lige ud ind og spille det hurtigt. Altså, jeg prøver bare lige at skrive reload. Jeg prøver bare lige at skrive reload. Nu prøver jeg lige at skrive reload plugins. Reload. Nej, det gør jeg ikke. Jeg går ud først. Så går jeg først. Jeg først. Continue and open. Yes. F, hold the 9 F, hold the 9 key. Vi kommer til at lave nogle. Fuck helvede, mine øjne. Jeg er fucking gammel. Ja, jeg ved ikke noget lige nu. Jeg sidder bare lige og tænker om, ja. Jeg ved ikke engang, om jeg er stadig live. Jeg filmer stadigvæk. Ja, det filmer jeg. Jeg filmer stadigvæk.
I got my eye on you, all right?
Det går lige herude lige hurtigere. Tryk her. F4. Skal load. Skal det load. Load script. Jeg går lige ind og ud igen. Sådan der. Jeg fucking hader min fucking hvad fanden er det? Kan jeg lige hurtigt på Så nu prøver vi igen. Sådan her. Og så trykker vi start. Godt hov, bum. Sådan der. Ja, det er det. Godt. Okay. Snart så vil jeg lave noget, hvor jeg laver LSPDFR okay, igen med en video, ikke hvor man hvor man laver det, men jeg kan lave også en til video, hvor man laver det på Reddit, hvor man downloader og alt det der. Så hvis I gerne vil se det, så ja. Så ikke med, så se med. Det gør jeg i morgen eller sådan noget, eller på et tidspunkt i aften, når jeg starter på den her video. Men nu skal jeg bare lige tænke her. 4. Og så skal jeg reload plugins. Så skriver jeg bare lige hurtigt. Der. Det er sådan her.
Units reporting a 148 in Pillbox Hill.
Right away. I always double check, but Raid Native UI, you want a full keyboard. You should not be using a fan open this big. They are going to change. So if you hold, so you have key number 9 key, you will see that the menu at the top left pops up. So you have controller, you have settings, and this is how you manually enable stuff on the Prowler instead of using it the numpad keyway. So what I mean by that is we can turn on auto lock through here. As you can see, auto turns on. We could switch our antennas from front to rear. But you could do all this just through the numpads. You don't have to go into this every single time. Let's just go back. We're going to go to settings. This is where we want to be. We're going to go to display. And this is where you adjust the size and area of the Prowler radar. So you could do it through this. I'm going to adjust the scale. I'm going to make it like 60. 60 is a good one. And then we're going to go to edit mode. Now in edit mode, this is where you can drag the Prowler anywhere you want. If you want it here, I typically wouldn't put it here because of the callouts that pop up. Also here, I wouldn't, because if you do in the future install Simple HUD, that is where your directions are. Here, I wouldn't really do either if you have callout interface, unless you don't really use it, then put it here. Where I usually like it is directly at the top of the screen. I always try and center it with the logo of my monitor. Good enough. And then just right click, and I just busted my window. But go of my usually like it is have call HUD, so you want mode radar. So 60.
Yeah, okay.
Citizens reporting a Grand Theft Auto in Pillbox Hill.
.60 60 is a good one. And then we're going to go to edit mode. Now, I typically wouldn't put it because if you here, logo of my monitor, good enough. And then just right click, and I just busted my window. But as you can see, boom, it's right there at the top. You can clearly see it. Now, when you hit the 9 key, it'll go away. If you hit it again, it'll pop back up. Now, we're not done. We're going to hold down that 9 key again. Go back to settings, and you want to save. Be sure to save it. If you don't save it, it won't be there again when you reboot LSPDFR. So we have the display set up. Now, if you go to radar, this is where you get into the meat of the plugin. This is where you adjust the speed limit to where you want to lock people at. If plugin, this is where you adjust the speed limit to where you want to lock people
all
at.
units. We've got a 211
so default set at 75 miles per hour. You can change that. Typically, I have mine set to 77.
Units reporting a suspect resisting arrest in...
Now, for those, there's probably a lot of you wondering, how do you know the...
What is the speed limit in towns in Denmark?
In Denmark, the usual speed limit in towns is 50 kilometers per hour. Outside towns, it's often 80, and on motorways, it's 130. But always check the signs, because local limits can be lower.
We'll talk. I'll see you at home.
Citizens reporting a holdup at Little Seoul Ron Station. Units respond code 3.
speed limits of the roads without looking at the speed limit signs, or yeah, what should you set it to? That is all up to you. It is all role play, up to you how you want to do it. How I do it is any of the freeways, major highways, freeways, is 60 miles per hour for me. That's how simple HUD had it. And any of the back roads, kind of like this one, I'd say is like 35. Now, the reason I say that is if you actually look at the traffic, they move at a 25 to 35 mile per hour pace around here in the game. And on the freeway is usually around 50 to 60. So if they're going over 70, and a lot of people will say that it's like, oh, the traffic, this is how long the keybind must be held to bring up the settings. At the top here, you have the blip lock. Always leave that true if you want to know who you locked onto. So this is my basic settings. You do whatever you'd like. It's all user preference, whatever you guys want to do. And then always be sure to save. Always want to save. So we're at the part now to where we want to play. I want to start scanning this area. So I want to get people coming from behind me. This is how I do it. So we're going to pretend we never had the radar up. We're going to go ahead and bring it up by hitting the 9 key. We're going to do that. We're going to hit the 0 key on the numpad. That'll turn it on. Now you could see our target.